Meghan Markle's characters struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
No, nobody wants these two.
Two of them actually need to sit down quietly with a therapist.
Meghan Markle thought she was building a political empire, but instead, Saturday Night Live turned her into a punchline. One 10-second joke. That's all it took. In just one line, Colin Jost managed to roast Meghan so badly that Hollywood laughed, Paris panicked, and Meghan herself completely lost it behind the scenes. But here's the wild part. That single joke didn't just make fun of her. It exposed her. And the fallout? Well, let's just say Meghan's carefully built image collapsed faster than her Spotify deal. But wait until you hear how this roast dragged the French First Lady into the chaos.
Comedy shows calling out Meghan for the B word that she is, because I genuinely believe this.
Meghan have been brutally roasted on Saturday Night Live.
Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
Trump's new trade deal with the UK is that Harry and Meghan...
It all started with one line. During SNL's Weekend Update, Colin Jost smirked into the camera and said Meghan Markle had just launched a new political podcast. Because what the world really needs is a mini Brigitte Macron with a royal title and no clue how politics actually work. The audience exploded with laughter. Meghan? Not so much. That single word, mini, was a nuclear bomb to her ego. It didn't just compare her to France's First Lady. It basically said she was the discount version. A knockoff handbag of political ambition. A royalwish.com stateswoman. And the worst part, millions of people instantly agreed. For Meghan, it wasn't just a roast. It was a reality check she never saw coming. But here's the kicker. Her reaction behind the scenes made the whole thing 10 times worse.
He is going to rock Meghan Markle's world. Meghan Markle is going to be humbled very quickly.
Some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will...
There's no way President Trump would accept that deal. He's called Meghan Markle nasty and says he feels sorry for Prince Harry because his wife is... It's the one that we all have.
Behind the cameras, Meghan completely unraveled. According to insiders, she immediately ordered her PR team to call NBC and demand an apology. An apology for a joke. She accused the sketch of being xenophobic, sexist, and deliberately designed to humiliate her. The executives didn't buy it. In fact, some insiders say they rolled their eyes. SNL roasts everyone, presidents, pop stars, even Beyoncé. But Meghan wanted special treatment, as if late-night comedy should clear punchlines with her first. One producer allegedly said, "Does she think she's the queen of Saturday night?" Her tantrum didn't stop there. Meghan blamed her own staff for not anticipating the joke. Yes, really. She thought someone on her payroll should have predicted Colin Jost's punchline like they had psychic powers. And this overreaction wasn't a one-time thing. Executives in Hollywood are reportedly getting fed up with Meghan's constant calls, demands, and crises. One insider summed it up. Every meeting with her feels like babysitting. But while Meghan was busy melting down in Los Angeles, the fallout was spreading overseas, because in Paris, someone else was furious too.
Seems to be one of the more vindictive, nasty figures in public life.
More troubles for poor Meghan. She's been threatened with a $10 million lawsuit after a woman suffered catastrophic burns, allegedly from the duck.
Let's make a show. Across the Atlantic, the joke caused its own political earthquake. Reports out of France claim Brigitte Macron, the actual First Lady Meghan was not amused. In fact, French media whispered that she stormed into her husband's office the morning after SNL aired, demanding to know why she was being linked to what she allegedly called that spoiled American narcissist. One tabloid even claimed she slapped President Macron in frustration. The Élysée Palace later denied it, of course, but French insiders swear something explosive went down behind those gilded doors. Either way, Brigitte's team made one thing very clear. They wanted no part of the Meghan circus. No joint photo ops. No polite nods. Total distance. And honestly, can you blame her? Being compared to Meghan Markle these days is like being told you're the Walmart version of yourself. And here's the brutal irony. Meghan had spent years trying to brand herself as America's answer to Brigitte Macron. Elegant, political, respect instead. The nickname Mini Macron turned her into a meme. And that's when the backlash started to snowball, because the internet smelled blood.
herself and who she actually is are quite different. I don't look at Meghan as someone who I would get business advice from.
To write a resume, I don't know what I would call myself.
If she doesn't know, how are we supposed to?
And also, I think the lens through which she views the world is very
highly incongruous, and she is living in La La Land. Look, I couldn't even watch all of this interview.
The joke didn't just stop on TV, it exploded online. Within hours, TikTok was flooded with parodies. People mocked Meghan's voice, staged fake press conferences, and even launched a viral fake perfume ad called Mini by Meghan. Tagline: because nothing says leadership like discount fragrance. And the public? They weren't exactly rallying to her defense. Polls taken right after the episode showed Meghan's favorability dropping hard in both the US and the UK. One survey found that 63% of Americans thought the SNL joke was not only funny, but accurate. Only 19% believed she was a serious political figure. That's not a dip. That's a freefall. Even her usual media allies didn't know how to spin it. Outlets that once defended her suddenly went quiet, as if they'd all agreed, yeah, we're not touching this one. But the silence from the press wasn't the worst part. The real blow came from inside Hollywood, because the industry that once saw Meghan as a potential star was now seeing her as something else entirely, a liability.
Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone.
I think that Harry is a damaged person, and damaged people cause damage. He has no understanding of how to, from his family life, and neither does
the Queen. Always used to make sure that she had somebody with her whenever she...
Hollywood doesn't like drama unless it's on screen, and Meghan was bringing way too much of it off camera. Insiders say Netflix execs grew frustrated when she demanded creative pitches be rewritten to portray her as a misunderstood global icon. One showrunner flat out refused to even take a Zoom call with her, saying, "We're making shows, not rescue missions." Producers started whispering that working with Meghan felt less like a partnership and more like babysitting a ticking time bomb. Even Oprah and Tyler Perry, once her loudest allies, went completely silent. No public support, no private defense, just radio silence. And here's the thing, in Hollywood, silence speaks louder than words. It means the shine has worn off. Meghan wasn't the exciting royal rebel anymore. She was becoming a PR nightmare. But as bad as Hollywood's cold shoulder was, the internet wasn't finished. Because once you become a meme, there's no going back.
Those two, for the reasons that we've been talking about, that they might be taking photographs or, I don't know, recording or anything they might be doing.
Harry is speaking his truth, which is that he's a very dejected and traumatized human being. And Meghan is projecting her truth. She knows that her brand has to run on positivity and optimism.
Once the internet gets a nickname for you, it's game over. And Meghan's new label, Mini Macron, spread like wildfire. What was meant as a one-off joke on SNL became a shorthand for everything people already thought about her. Style over substance, big ego with little impact. All branding, no backbone. TikTok users made endless spoofs of her podcast, fake speeches where she demanded Brigitte Macron apologize for existing first, and even mock political ads calling her the Wish.com First Lady. It wasn't just comedy anymore, it was cultural graffiti. And Meghan was the punchline. Even political insiders got in on the fun. Reports claim staffers in Washington and Brussels were joking privately that Meghan's ambitions were Instagram deep and laughably out of touch. French journalists piled on too, writing, "Comparing Meghan to Brigitte is an insult. One is dignified and respected. The other is Meghan Markle." Her carefully crafted image, polished, powerful, presidential, was replaced by one brutal reality. Meghan wasn't being seen as a leader. She was being seen as a meme. And the damage didn't stop with her, because Harry was caught in the blast too.
On anybody's marriage, but you can't see two interviews back to back like this and wonder that something behind the scenes isn't going on.
Thanks to another amazing friend who we've never met, but who believes in us and wants to help.
Angela, it's almost that meme of how it's...
While Meghan was spiraling, Harry was left standing in the shadows, and not in a good way. Reports say he was deeply embarrassed by her overreaction, especially as clips of Brigitte Macron's rumored slap went viral. Imagine being Prince Harry, watching your wife turn a late-night joke into an international crisis. Even his old military friends were said to be pulling away, confused about why Harry keeps letting himself get dragged into one circus after another. Some quietly wondered if he'd lost his backbone, trading his army grit for a lifetime of spin campaigns and awkward PR stunts. At first, Harry's silence looked like loyalty. But now, many see it as something else, cowardice. Because the more he says nothing, the more he looks like a spectator in his own downfall. And for Meghan, that's the scariest part. The man who was supposed to stand proudly beside her is now quietly watching her unravel. And if Harry's own friends don't take her seriously, how on earth is the rest of the world supposed to? In the end, Meghan Markle wanted to be seen as America's answer to Brigitte Macron. Elegant, powerful, political. Instead, she walked straight into a 10-second joke that stripped the mask off her entire brand. The SNL roast wasn't just comedy, it was a mirror. And what Meghan saw staring back wasn't a future world leader. It was a punchline. Overnight, her podcast became a flop. Her Netflix project stalled, and her reputation sank from duchess to diva to digital meme. Hollywood sees her as a liability. Washington laughs at her political fantasy. Even Paris wants nothing to do with the comparison. Meghan set out to become Diana 2.0. And here's the brutal truth. If Meghan can't survive a 10-second joke from Colin Jost, how is she supposed to survive world leaders who actually play hardball? Maybe the lesson here isn't about politics or PR at all. Maybe Meghan just needs to learn one thing. Sometimes the smartest move is to laugh with the joke before the whole world laughs at you.